Hello, last time in this video series we talked about the first 22 chronological episodes of Star Wars, the Clone Wars. This time we're talking about the next 22, we're talking about these episodes you'll now see in the background. To get started already. First of all, we have the Rylos arc. This arc contributes the first real development step for Ahsoka. We have the relationship between Numa and Boyle and Waxer, which was really sweet. We finally saw some more Mace Windu badassery, and actually a smart tactic droid, which honestly and sadly, to be honest, surprised me a little bit. Hopefully, more smart droid, because what is a droid if not smart, you know? But let's move on to the Cad Bane introduction arc. Now, as I said in the last video, I have no idea if these arc names I'm telling you are the actual arc names, because I don't look it up because for spoiler reasons. So, I just call them what I think would describe them enough. Now we have the first time we meet Cad Bane. If you did watch it in release order, this is not the first time you would have met him, but I'm watching chronological, so it's the first time I met him. If you want to know what my order is, look in the description. There's a link to the Star Wars website where every episode is listed in chronological order. Now, Cad Bane is great. He's a badass. He's brutal. We actually see a torture until death, which is really surprising because I know it's not really a kid show, but it was supposed to be a kid show. But this is the first really dark thing in the show. He's smart, and the I think we actually saw our first hints to the Inquisitor, which play a huge part in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I know they're gonna play a huge part in Rebels, and I know they're playing a huge part in Jedi Fallen Order, so I'm really glad about that. Now let's move on to the Zillo Beast arc. I like the homage they made of Godzilla, or yeah, basically any kaiju movie or series. So nice. I think the episode before the Zillo Beast arc, called Bounty Hunters, this is a nice reference to the Seven Samurai movie. So, and that episode had some really cool characters that I hope we're gonna see again. Now we have some really cool scenes of the beast uh, trampling through Coruscant, and just how did nobody get that Palpatine is evil? You know, and I'm actually interested, and I'm wondering what happened to cloning the beast in the future, and what happened to the shell, because it's basically indestructible, or at least it deflects lightsabers, so Palpatine probably gonna do something with it. But what and why isn't the Death Star or Darth Vader's armor? Well, that his armor is made of it made sense, because yeah, he wants him to be vulnerable, but you know, why isn't it there in later parts? We'll see. Moving on to the Geonosis arc. I actually thought this was the arc where we see Darth Maul again. No, we have to wait a few more seasons for that. But we saw the first sign of Vader emerging within Anakin. We see a really small glint of his Sith eyes and his jealousy, and that he can't let it go. But this arc really showed the hypocrisy of the Jedi. You know, they talked about how they don't want to kill the Zillow because oh, so precious. But the Geonosis, fuck them, we're not gonna burn them down until they're extinct. I'm like, wow, that's fucked up. Because the difference basically is, other than that the Zillow is basically extinct, but the difference is the Zillow is so sensitive. I don't think the Jedi know any Geonosians that are force sensitive, so why bother with them? Now let's move on to the next arc, the Mandalore arc, or I guess the first Mandalore arc. Now I won't talk about, there are several single entities, single episodes between these two arcs. I won't really talk about them because I forgot to take notes for them. That's gonna change for next video, but yeah, I haven't. Also, these single episodes haven't really any interesting thing that I thought, oh, that I gotta bring up. But but let's get to the Mandalore arc. At first, I found it kind of weird that they're pacifist because everything I knew was Bo-Katan from Mandalorian. I knew the Mandalorian from the Mandalorian show, and Boba. So, kind of weird, but okay. We had Pre Vizsla, who I actually thought first was past Vizsla, which we know from Mandalorian Boba Fett, but no. Satine is mentioned the first time here, and we see her the first time here, which is great. She's great. I love her. I love her relationship to Obi-Wan, and gladly I saw this before I began the book Brotherhood, because one of the best scenes in the early stages of that book is a scene you only get if you know the relationship between Satine and Obi-Wan. So great, and I know we're gonna see more of her because I'm re-recording this video basically. So I'm already like 2 seasons ahead at this point. So yeah, this is one of the arcs I waited for at the beginning, and it finally seems like it's getting a start on this series. And Anakin and Obi-Wan was really funny, especially when Anakin kind of found out about Satine and Obi-Wan's relationship. Really funny stuff. Now to get to the last arc, which was other than last video, which yeah, the last arc was not that great of a last arc, but this arc was kinda good. I called it Boba arc. It's the first arc we see Boba Fett in. It's really nice that Daniel Logan got the chance to voice the young clones. The second episode has some really good and awesome lighting. I mean, this is an the quality of the shot is not good, but when I watched it, it looked great on my 4K monitor. It was great. The R2 episode, I think it was R2 Come Home, the second part of that arc, really reminded me of Kevin Home Alone. Home Alone, is that the English name? The movie with Macaulay Culkin, I think his name is. Basically an R2 version of it. It was really funny, and R2 is surprisingly brutal, and I hope if and please do it, Disney, a droid story is coming out sometime, maybe, hopefully. I hope they give Arthur similar a similar feel to him, because that was awesome. And please give me more Plo Koon. He is amazing. Maybe do an own series or movie with him. He's great. And maybe there come some canon Plo Koon books and comics. Please let me know in the comments. In the comments, not in the comics. Let me know about comics in the comments. So I hope you liked this episode. I think this part really dragged on. It really, really, really dragged on. But I can tell you the next part is gonna be way better than this, and I'm really excited to talk about that next part. So, leave a like if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the next part, where we are talking about the next 22 episodes, which you can see in the background. It's from season 3, episode 5, all the way to season 3, episode 22. So we're finally getting a crossover, basically. The chronological order is slightly transitioning into the release order, which is nice, which means less switching while watching and more watching. So, hopefully, see you on Friday, where the next episode of this Star Wars in Retrospect series is gonna come online, and it's actually gonna be the first Star Wars Retrospect video that's actually firstly and only produced in English. So, see you there. Bye.